Dear Mama, especially my creative mamas, create your thing. That book, that script, film, podcast, whatever. Use social media. Don't let social media use you. Shoot your shot and then check your DMs, because that's how we got the guest for this episode. In this episode, we speak with writer-director DeMane Davis. DeMane is a proud product of the Ava Effect, and her receipts are long and strong. She is the producing director of the upcoming 4-part Netflix series, Self-Made, inspired by the life of Madam C.J. Walker, who was a mother, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. The series stars Oscar winner Octavia Spencer, Blair Underwood, and Tiffany Haddish, and will be released Friday, March 20th. And don't forget, if you haven't already, don't just listen, subscribe, and follow us on all social media platforms at Them Black Mamas Podcast so you won't miss an episode. Please keep emailing us, keep engaging with us through social media comments, your reviews, and SoundCloud comments. Keep sharing us, even if it's just with one person who you feel like can benefit from listening to us. If you're a new listener, welcome to the ride. Invest in us by becoming a DBM patron, buying merch, or giving a one-time donation. For full show notes, check our website, themblackmamas.com. Now, let's get free, y'all, and jump into episode 29 of
Them Black Mamas.
We're back. Welcome back to the ride. We are off of hiatus, which means we got some shows coming up. I'm Crystal Tennille Irby, mother of 4, 3 boys and 1 girl.
And I'm Thea Monye, mother of 3 girls.
And I'm Nikki Killings, mother also of 4. No, wait, where am I?
Yeah,
Wait, see?
God.
Let me try this again.
Carry the one. Carry the one.
Listen. Sometimes you forget. And I'm Nikki Killings, mother of 4 girls.
So we are back. We have a great show coming up today. We have a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious guest on today.
Amazing.
My coach always says that. Shout out to Coach B, Precious Vivian. She's my coach, trying to help me get my whole life together. Yes, folks, we need assistance.
Mm-hmm. We do. Anybody want to coach me? Give me a call.
You're just gonna open up your DMs and phone line Nikisha.
I am.
Nikisha needs a work doula.
Yes.
A deadline doula.
Yes.
I could be a deadline doula, y'all. Nicole would hate that. Nicole, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Nicole would be like, now what is that?
Yes, Nicole, let me run pressure on Nicole. Now what is that?
What is that?
No, you gotta hold the that. Yes. You gotta hold it. What is that?
That was good. That was dead on.
I didn't mean it, Nicole. That was a joke.
Come on, black people. If you see your sister need to hit deadlines, then just help her hit deadlines.
You ain't got to be a doula for that.
You ain't got to be a doula for that. Yeah. I apologize, Nicole. It was a joke.
Shout out to Sister Midwife Nicole Deggins, who we love, and who has some great stuff in store this year. So that's 2 women. It's Women's History Month that y'all need to look out for. That's my supercalifragilisticexpialidocious coach, Coach P, Precious Vivings. You can hit her up on Instagram, and she also has a Facebook group. And also follow Sister Midwife Nicole Deggins, who is like the truth when it comes to birthing and prioritizing Black maternal health can really transform our community. Birth is the revolution is her hashtag. Oh, we also have our 4th co-host in with us today. That is Selah.
Good morning, Selah.
Hey, girl.
That's not her, but the new addition to the Keisha's family.
We've learned that she is not to be dismissed. We got to partner with her.
Yes.
We partnered with her at Project Row House.
Right. So you may hear Selah, who is how old now? 8 months, Nikisha?
8 months.
You may hear her every once in a while because she got something to say, just like apparently the South had something to say when it came to the Democratic primary. But we'll talk about that in Black Mama Say. So anyway.
Can I do one more plug for a woman for the Women's History
Oh,
Month?
absolutely. Go ahead.
Tamika Claybrook.
Oh, okay.
My dream strategist.
Dream strategist. That's what she is. Yeah.
My dream strategist, Tamika Claybrook of Claybrook Consultants, has changed my life. So y'all know I'm a fire sign. And yes, I can hit deadlines. Like I could do it all. I'm every woman. It's all in me. I got it. However, it is a lot easier and a lot clearer to like serve your purpose when you have somebody else really helping you set up a framework that is around your holistic being and that is set up for you to achieve things that you really want realistically and also idealistically at the same time. So I started working with her in November, and well, y'all can just look at my Instagram. I mean, really, if you want to know what it be, this is the first time, and you all know I've been a full-time working mother for many years. It's been really hard for me to dream chase and be a mother. We talk about that a lot on the show.
Dream catch, dream catch.
Dream catch, you're right. Dream catch, because I've been catching them dreams. But with Tamika, I feel like not just am I catching them in the present, but I can see the trajectory and I can see the future of these things, and all of it feels doable, which makes me feel like way more empowered, way more self-authorizing. I'm able to live and create the life that I want, and it's effortless for her. So she loves working with inspiring, powerful Black women. I think the tagline is everyone needs someone in their corner. Which I love. And she's like been in my corner, been under my feet, been like on my back, like everywhere. And it's been amazing. So it's Claybrook Consultants, at Claybrook Consultants on Instagram.
How is she for people who are, say, resistant?
She's extremely patient. Like she creates her pace according to the person.
Okay.
So one of the things for me, you guys know I'm pretty fast paced. So one of the things she does for me is like, yeah, so yes, you could do this by the end of March, but why would we want to do that to ourselves? Why wouldn't we just give ourselves to the end of the quarter or next quarter? Like, this isn't going to go anywhere. This is brilliant. It's amazing. It's going to be there. She's on me about my water. She's on me about my workout. She factors in time for my spiritual practice. Like, she'll know, oh, this is the week that you have to drive the girls to school. That week can be a lot with the commuting, so we're not going to put a lot on your plate that week. Those are weeks that I would have piled on
all the
no
things.
matter what was going on, but she factors in all of it. So when I saw my 3-year plan, just the first draft of it, I was like, oh, we're building an empire. She said, that's what you said you wanted, you know? And I was like, I did say I wanted that, but I thought I was just talking. She's like, no, these are the steps to make it all doable. I have 2 people that have already joined up with her. I'm wishing her abundance and expansion through my network as much as possible. But also, I run with winners, and y'all know, I know every woman I'm around has so many amazing gifts, and I'm all about that coming to the surface and bursting onto the scene. And so I feel like with her, we can all make that happen.
So then what we'll do is we'll have their information in our show notes. And I think what I'll also do is a post for Dem Black Mamas about each one. And for Women's History Month, we want to shout out the women who are supporting us and helping us catch our dreams. Nikisha, do you have anybody that you want to shout out?
I would shout out you too. I think you're fantastic. And some of the only people on the planet who can put up with me. I believe that deserves a gold star.
Listen, Nikisha, listen. You're 8 months postpartum, you know, give yourself some grace.
When we saw you do that workshop, we was like, we fought you to do your book and everything before, but we kind of let up because, you know, like you was growing a baby.
Yeah.
Now we've decided that you have till about August, and then we back on that ass because that workshop was incredible.
So, so we'll have their information in our show notes, and we'll also do a post about each woman because I'm sure all of them have some great stuff coming up this year, and that'll be a special thing to do for women. So our guest today is producer, director, DeMane Davis.
Yes.
If you don't know,
a natural Dem Black Mama.
Let me tell you what.
So natural, fit right in.
She has a spot on the mic anytime she wants.
If you don't know who she is, you will by the end. Well, you'll know after we do her introduction. I mean, she got receipts galore, you know, just the little things. She's directed Queen Sugar. She was the producing director of Queen Sugar for a year. She's directed all of our other favorite shows.
If y'all got caught up in the
How to Get Away with Murder, all of that
scary shit.
So she's dope. So we're really, really excited to have her on today. So we'll always start out with our church announcements, move into Mac and Cheese with DeMane Davis, and our collection plate cause, and then Black Mama Say. And the reason that we have DeMane on is because she is the producing director of Self-Made, which is coming on Netflix. And it's the story, or it's inspired by Madam C.J. Walker, who was born Sarah Breedlove. And so that's coming out March 20th. So that's why we have her on today. It's starring Octavia Spencer. Wait for it. Blair Underwood.
What's it gonna be? You know, you can't say his name without singing that song.
Yes.
Girl, when she said, "Who are you?" and he said, "I'll be your genie if you want me to." Hey!
Is that on the Pleasure playlist?
That's not on the Pleasure playlist. I should put it on there. So Blair Underwood, Tiffany Haddish, Bill Bellamy. So it's a lot of heavy hitters in the film. So please support that on March 20th. It's a 4-part series. So let's move into our church announcements and prayer list request. And I know y'all have missed this.
Yes.
Here we go. Let me channel it. Oh, here it is. It's coming. Let me channel it. Hello, beloveds. Here are this episode's church announcements and prayer list requests. Let it breathe. Let it breathe. Let it breathe. There we go. Okay. Yes. So my first church announcement is, I only have one, is Black Maternal Health Week is coming up.
It is.
April 11th through April 17th. So please look out for that. Follow Black Mama Matters Alliance on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook. They are the founders of Black Maternal Health Week, and we are also Kendrick partners with them. So they have some things coming up, and we're going to do some things for Black Maternal Health Week. So please make sure you're following them. Please make sure you're checking our Instagram, all of our social media, to see what we have planned as well. That's April 11th through the 17th. I know the majority of our listeners are women, but what I encourage you to do is during Black Maternal Health Week, please share some of the information that you see, learn, information events that you see, learn, and know about with people who are not mothers, people who are not Black, because this fight is not just about Black people who want to give birth. Black maternal health impacts us all, and it impacts us beyond whether someone lives or dies during birth. It impacts us if someone is traumatized during birth, because that impacts how they function in the community, how they function in their families, and how they function in their relationships. So we really want to try to get it outside the silo of Black birth workers and also Black people who want to give birth. So please share events and information with people who are outside that circle. So that is my only church announcement.
That's a great one.
It's Nikisha.
I wonder why you didn't announce that your birthday's coming up. I feel like that's
my birthday is coming up.
It's
Thank you,
true.
Nikisha. Boom. Shout out to Nikisha on the podcast.
Are we ready for Aries season? We're just getting out of retrograde.
Upon us.
It's actually technically the first constellation of the year.
Oh,
Somebody Google that.
I didn't know that.
It's actually when, okay. If I'm wrong, I'm open to being corrected. But yes, my birthday is coming up, and I do have a book wish list that I can post or share the link
to that.
I have a book wish list on Amazon because I'm trying to read 2 books a month this year, because in the past 2 years, my reading has just been abysmal.
Damn it, it's Aries.
I told you. I know what I'm talking about, boo. I know what I'm talking about. So yeah, so my birthday is coming up. I'm calling this my Obama year because I'll be 44. So, my sister came up with that. So I'm looking for huge transformation, huge, historical change in my life and beyond. So I'm really, really excited about that. So my birthday's coming up March 22nd, and we will post my book wish list. So if you all
that would be amazing. That's a great idea.
Contribute to a sister, appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome, girl.
That's a great idea.
Welcome, girl. All right, let's see my church announcements. I finished the lecture. If you're interested in conditions of the breast and how they present on non-white skin tones, check me out. Holla at me on Gold Lactation. Those will be up until, free lecture will be up until April. It was a gift for IBCLC Day. And I am purposely not booking myself for nothing else until the fall because this is about to move, about to hit it. So
cross country,
living that military life. It's that time again. We live in LA, throwing them the deuces.
You're probably the best packer ever.
I do no packing. The military packs for you.
Do they pack everything?
They send packers. Yes. All you have to do is like designate like a room where that's off limits, where you'll put things you do not want them to pack, because they just kind of go into robot mode and pack everything they see.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'll let you know where I'm gonna be later on when we get there. You know how I do, move in silence. That's how real G's move. And meanwhile, pray. That's the prayer list, announcement, everything for me.
Girl. Because y'all are driving across country, right?
Listen.
Whenever you stop me and say
listen. On the one hand, coronavirus has flights real cheap right now. Real cheap. All right.
Yes.
A family like ours could come up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the other hand, this is a very different America than we've driven cross country in any time before. We have never done it in Trump's America. And so we have some real pause about that and what that looks like and what that might feel like for us as a family to be going through the deep South in some places.
If you do choose to fly, look up Naomi Campbell's flight routine.
Oh, gosh.
Before she even sits in the seat. Please look up her flight routine.
I can't wait.
I mean, it's epic. And people were laughing at her until the coronavirus broke out. But you can get flights really cheap. I saw a round trip flight from here to Miami for like $16.
It's ridiculous because everybody's canceling.
And it wasn't Spirit.
Ooh, for real?
I don't even say their names.
Well, girl. Rashad flew Spirit, and he was like, "You got to pay for water, like
everything. You got to pay to breathe."
So, Nikisha, we'll put you on the prayer list for the move.
Thank you.
Whichever way you all decide to travel, we'll keep you on the prayer list.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I have a big church announcement that I can't announce yet. But probably by the next podcast, I'll announce it. But
the people at church announcement tease. Is that what that was?
It's church announcement tease. Because it's happened, but I need some documentation first.
Okay.
But it's happened.
Okay.
Right.
She also has an NDA.
Oh.
I thank the Lord, everybody. I want to do a quick testimony. Y'all's prayers got a sister on, got a sister on Foxo, and another thing that I can't talk about yet until it comes out. But y'all been praying a sister up. I'm way up. I feel blessed.
So basically, her church announcements is she is on the glow up.
Yes. Yes, that sums that up.
Foxo with Dr. Shaw.
Dr. Shaw. Listen, that's clappy.
That's clappy. That's rich.
Dr. Shawn has changed the way we talk. Literally. We love Dr. Shawn on the 7. I guess that's probably it for now.
Okay. All right. So let's bring it back. Please keep these events and prayer list requests in mind. And for information as well as inspiration, follow us on all social media platforms at Dim Black Mamas. Yes. Let it breathe.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know.
I tried. Oh, God.
You did try.
Oh.
Here we go. You know what? I can't with y'all. I mean, haters are going to hate, listeners. Haters are going to hate. So, as I said, follow us on all social media platforms and make sure that you're not just listening to our podcast, but that you are subscribed to our podcast and leave a review. You can leave a review on Facebook. You can leave a review on iTunes. You can also share us on your Instagram pages and leave us a review. We have merch and a Patreon. And so all of those links are on our website. And so please invest in Black Mama Magic, invest in us. When you invest in us, you are investing in women who are actively creating spaces and work that center Black mamas through healing, liberation, and creativity. So please think about becoming a patron. And please, if you can't do that, you can give us a one-time donation or you can buy some merch that we have. And all those links are in our social media bios and also on our website. Support us so that we can keep this thing going, so that we can pay
these bills.
and also put on great events like we did down in Houston for Black Mama Creative Week. And we have some great stuff coming up in the fall. And now I'm going to turn it over to Thea Moye to introduce our guest for the Mac and Cheese segment.
So everyone, we're super excited today. We have a fabulous, amazing dream guest with us today. DeMane Davis. We're talking about Self-Made, a film inspired by Madam C.J. Walker. DeMane Davis is a TV director and a producing director. Ava DuVernay graciously asked her to direct 2 episodes of the second season of her groundbreaking TV series, Queen Sugar, which airs on OWN, which has changed the entire landscape by only hiring female directors and specifically hiring first-time female directors. I cannot wait to have this power. I cannot wait for the power. I'm going to abuse it as much as possible. I cannot wait. In addition to producing the entire season, she directed 3 episodes, including the premiere. Queen Sugar was recently renewed for a 5th season. Thank God.
Girl, it's going to be good, too. It's going to be good.
I cannot. My body just shook. My body
that ending, the ending of the last season, let me tell you what.
I can't live without Rough Angel. I can't do it. Okay. Since then, DeMane has directed on For the People, The Red Line for CBS, How to Get Away with Murder, Station 19, and You for Netflix, which I binged on a plane. Do not do it on a plane. Do it in the safety of your home.
Oh.
It was so good, but I was on that plane looking at everybody. Crazy. She was so good. And I loved Penn Badgley. So that was beautiful. But the play, there's so much more, y'all. We're just cutting up in the box. We got to focus.
This is the receipt part of our
receipts. And you know, when it comes to Black women, we read every receipt every day. Every time they went to H&M, every time they went to New York Company.
Yeah, we do the receipts.
So she was also producing director on Self-Made, inspired by Madam C.J. Walker, a 4-part series which premieres on Netflix on March 20th. Coming up, y'all. Most recently, she's been back to Shondaland to direct an episode of their final season of How to Get Away with Murder. Listen, when they trust you with the final season,
the second to the last. I didn't do the final, but I did the second to the last episode.
Second to last, we're gonna round up to round up
Price is Right rules.
Receive these receipts, DeMane. Receive these receipts. She is also a commercial director and is with Sweet Ricky, a collaborative female-owned production company versed in creating original content. DeMane is a Sundance Fellow class of 97, and 2 of the features she wrote premiered in competition at the Sundance Film Festival. Lift, Kerry Washington's first solo feature, is available on Amazon. And
fun fact.
Oh, here we go. I know what the fun fact is.
Yeah.
Crystal, stop. You know, they hated on Jesus, but it's okay. Fun fact.
What happened?
Crystal was a stand-in for Kerry Washington. That's how I got my SAG vouchers.
That's awesome.
Yes, she was. Yes.
I love it.
That was a great fun fact. In addition to directing, she is also a freelance copywriter, creative director, and voiceover talent. Self-Made details the life of America's first self-made millionaire, how she fought for social change and simultaneously overcame post-slavery racial and gender biases, personal betrayals, which that tea I need, and business rivalries to build a groundbreaking brand that revolutionized Black hair care. I mean, y'all, we couldn't even get through the receipts without cutting up. That's how amazing and dope and excited. Y'all know we don't fan out about a lot of things because, you know, Black women are very unimpressed after 2016.
Yeah.
And we don't have a lot of guests, right?
Because of how we look at this early in the morning.
Well, there's that too.
There has to be a circle of trust.
Real time.
So we read down the receipts, but we want to take a moment, set us up, DeMane. Tell us about your journey.
Yeah, tell us about your journey. Like, how did you get to Shonda?
We want to know. We want to know for real as a Black woman. Like, when we see one get to the top, we're like, what is the roadmap? What offerings do we have to bring to the altar? Are we bringing the wrong fruit?
We need a ram.
Do we need a ram? And we bringing goats. We bringing goats. We bringing rams. Let us know.
First of all, thank you all so much for having me on. I really love your podcast. I appreciate you all so much for what you're doing. I'm honored to be here to talk to you all. And y'all are hella fun. So it's already been great. It's already been great as far as I'm concerned. I'm very much looking forward to turning this into a television show.
Oh, God, we're on deadline. We're on deadline. We're on deadline.
Who's going to play me?
Deadline.
Who's going to play me? Who's gonna play me?
I'm playing me. I'm playing me.
So if I go all the way back, right, what I think I did is I set my intent. And what I and this was before knowing what that was, right? So I've been writing since I was 12 years old. I have journals. I have over 70 journals at home. And so I knew I wanted to be a writer. My sister, Denise Marshall, she and I shared a room. I read all her books that she introduced me unwittingly to Toni Cade Kambara and to Toni Morrison and, you know, just all the greats. So I got it in my head, and don't even ask me where this came from, that I was going to write the great American novel. I knew that phrase was out there. I don't know how I adopted it, but I'm like, that's what I'm going to do. I was in school in art class once, and this art teacher said, you all are going to make up some print advertisements. And I was like, oh. So I made up a product. The product was Elmer's glue pancake mix because it sticks to your bones. And
you Black people would not be out there. Do you understand? Just let us be free. If that shit was around today, okay?
I would eat it. I can't
if that shit was on Shark Tank today.
So I drew up I drew up these images and I made headlines. And I don't even know if I knew I could do that. I just started doing it and I made 3 of them. And the teacher said, oh, these are really, really good. You could get a job in advertising. They make like $40,000 a year. And that was it. So I thought, okay. But I said, okay, I'm going to do advertising during the day. And at night, I'm going to write the great American novel.
Right.
I'm just going to keep working, right?
Right?
Hustle, right? So I set my intent then. And what happened is I ended up getting into advertising. I started doing ads. I kept writing at night. And then at one point I went to go visit my niece. She wasn't home, so I was leaving a note on her bed. I looked on the wall, and she had photos I hadn't seen before of her friends. And I was like, oh, look at Jamila, look at so-and-so, look at so-and-so. And then she had these funeral programs. And I was like, what is this? She had never talked to me about the fact that she had lost 4 close friends. It was all violence. It was, one of her best friends was stabbed in school during school hours.
Oh my God.
2 of her friends were shot in their heads as they sat in their car, 2 girls. And she was like 16, in a year and a half, she had lost 4 people. I'm from Boston. So through Boston Partners in Education, I would go to inner city schools and talk about how to have different careers in advertising. Even if you want to be an accountant, you could be an accountant in an advertising agency. It's more creative space. You feel responsible for making a product and all that.
And advertising is storytelling. The best products tell a great story.
The best, right? And it's abbreviated. So that's what my background is. I have to tell a story in 30 seconds.
Right.
Tell a story in 60 seconds, right?
Which can be so helpful.
What are the key elements to get this message across, right? Right. I was like, what can I do besides speaking out at Boston Partners in Education? And I went, oh, I'll make a movie. And that was it, right?
Just like that, huh?
Just I was like, I'll make a movie, right? So I'd never made a movie before. That's not what I went to school for. But I love films. I watch a lot of films. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm going to make a movie because this is a way to get this message across to stop what's happening. So I had Spike Lee's first 5 books. In his first 5 books, he made a book for every film. His journal.
We have the Mo Better Blues one.
And the budget. Right? So I read those 2. I'm like, okay, this is what we do. So I'm like, okay, so now at this point, my art director partner is like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm going to make a movie. He's like, I want to do it. So I'm like, all right, you can come in because you can get me some stuff. You do some visual stuff. And then another guy, producer at the ad agency, was like, what are y'all doing? I'm like, we're making a movie. He's like, I want to help. So I'm like, all right, you come in because you're going to get me the guy that's going to get me equipment. I built it. I did the business. I wrote the business plan myself. This is before internet. So I went to the library and I'm like, okay, this is how we do a business plan. Put that together. Went to my old bosses, went to people, got the money together. Every film has a through line, right? Without even knowing that, I was like, well, this has to have a strategy statement. A strategy statement is essentially a through line. It's sort of the driest headline you could have for an ad. So my strategy statement for the movie was, if we continue to kill each other, there won't be any Black people left. The name of that movie was called Black and White and Red All Over. It's only available on VHS. Made that movie, got the money together, and it got into the Sundance Film Festival in competition.
Oh my God.
Your first movie.
You know what? Let me tell you something. You're living that Thea Monier life, DeMane.
Let me tell you something.
I appreciate your journey. I really, really do. But this is that Thea Monier life. You got
another one of Jesus' favorites. Yeah. That doesn't happen to everybody. That doesn't happen to anybody.
That happened.
It was crazy.
Wow.
So And then we turned that into its own sort of advertising thing, rented a Winnebago, drove cross country to go to the festival, brought most of the cast with us, stopped in places that were important to us as Black people and might have had things to go to do with the film, went to where Sojourner Truth gave her Ain't I a Woman speech, you know, filmed all of that. One person approached me when we were playing at the Institute of Contemporary Art in Boston. One brother approached me and he had his hoodie on, he was all zipped up, and he was like, that was a good movie. And I said, thank you. And he said, I just want you to know that like, I'm about that life, but I'm not gonna do it anymore. And I said, thank you. And that was it. He never gave me his name. He never said anything else. But for me, that's why I did it. You know what I mean? What it begat in the future is directing more commercials. I started writing the script to Lyft, and then Lyft got into the Sundance Labs, which I encourage everyone to enter the Sundance Labs. They have a director's lab, they have a screenwriter's lab,
a producing lab,
producers, they have episodic television lab. So even if you don't get in the first time you submit, just keep submitting because they get to know you and your work. You know what I mean? So sometimes I would just use the deadline for a lab or a fellowship as a deadline to get the script done. And one year I was like, well, this just needs a little fix up. So I had that other idea. I'm gonna do this one too and get it done within this time.
So DBM listeners, I want you to notice the vocab word of the day is deadline, which if you go back to previous episodes, we have had long conversations about the significance of the deadline.
Let me put on my
glasses. I don't know if they've been long conversations.
But the vocab word that the listener should hear is deadlines.
Yeah. I mean, look, real and imagined, it's whatever makes you get it done. So whatever you can impose on your life that makes you do whatever you have to do,
do it. Get it done.
Do it. And there's never anything negative to come out of it because you push yourself forward, you challenge yourself to get it done, right? Like my friend Risa Mickenberg, she said to me one day, and I'll never forget this, I was mad about something and I was like, well, I don't know if I go this. She said, listen, just do whatever you do with joy. If you do what you do with joy, there are no regrets. You have nothing to regret. And I was like, boom. And so if you
She's preaching today, y'all. DeMane is preaching up in here.
It's only because I've been told many things by many people, many incredible, talented people. And I take that. I'm like, I'll take this. But even if it seems like something that you're doing is not an experience that has joy, just find some joy in it.
My whole work, DeMane, centers around joy.
Joy and pleasure.
Joy and pleasure for Black people. And I think because we were used for the purpose of production, that our value and worth gets caught up in the idea of production. But before we were used for production, we created from a place of movement, feeling, and joy. And I firmly believe that's how we get back and that's how we heal. But the deadline piece, this is what I always tell people, because at a certain point, you could be the most brilliant person in the world. And if you don't have a thing, I can't do anything with your brilliance. I can think you're amazing. I can want to take you to the top. I can want to offer you $1 million. You're not in the game until you have a thing. You're on the sidelines. Something that you finished is what I'm saying by the thing, right? Because then that says, I'm here. And also there's a confidence boost once you finish something.
That's right.
Even if it's terrible. Like my first novel is terrible. Nope, it won't see the light of day. When I finished that thing, you couldn't have told me it wasn't the bluest eye. Yes. And what it told me is you can finish a novel. So there is no harm in finishing.
I call that little victories, right? So people will say, I want to make a movie. Well, you can't make a movie if you're a writer. You got to write the script first. And then they're like, well, I wrote the script, but it never became a movie. I'm like, but that's a victory. You have to celebrate that and you have to sit with that and you have to be grateful for that.
And what you learned in the process of writing it, what you learned about yourself, what you learned about your creative process.
It's all worthy. It's all worthy. And it's all cumulative.
Yeah.
So, so that was really my start. And then I just hustled. It's part of the reason why I was really wanted to, and I was grateful to get to work on Madam C.J. Walker because she was the original hustler.
Man.
You know what I mean? She was the original hustler. And I came from a long line of hustlers, including my mother, who, had 2 jobs and went to night school. So that's what I saw growing up. So I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter what. So my first job was 12 years old and was in a hair salon. I was a gopher. I swept up hair and took out roller sets and got people lunches. And you know what I'm saying? I got $100 cash. I was great. Listen, 12 years old, $100 cash.
$100?
First, can we talk about the tea that you were getting?
Some of your stories came from that hair salon. I know it. I just know it.
Listen,
Had to.
And let me tell you something. Went right to Mama. Mama said, "You live here under my roof. You pay me rent." And then I would always buy her chocolates and roses every Saturday.
You're a good daughter.
She was
a good daughter.
Listen, she was a single mom, lots of
Let's
kids.
pause for a second, because if I sent Tantalon to do, I just put this into 2020 terms, and they're lovely children. However, if I took them and then took half their cash, and they would not bring me chocolates and roses, what I'm telling you. I would have to check every meal. I would have to taste test every meal to make sure them heifers didn't slide something in my food. They would not bring me chocolates and roses with the remainder of their half. I can tell you that much. They might dip out. They might give me a little less than my half and be like, well, we bought you chocolates and roses out of your half. I can see that maybe. There's no way there would be peace in this home and that they would bring me chocolates and roses. See, but that's why you weigh up. You feel blessed.
That's
up.
why her ashe is high.
That's why your ashe is high. So can you tell us about how you became part of the Madam C.J. Walker project?
Yeah. So I heard it was happening. Like I said, I had my first job was in the hair salon. I really fell in love with when a woman would walk into the salon and they'd have a scarf or a hat and the shoulders would be hunched. And then they walk out, it would be like slow motion Beyonce.
Man, that's real.
So I really loved that part of it. So when I heard that it was going to happen, so again, a part of, for me, setting my intent is I put it in the universe, right? If I'm not ready to share it with other people, I will say it to myself when I'm in my apartment alone. I'll say, this is what I want. I'm going to have this. I'm going to have, and I always say that I will have. I never say, I would like to. I say, no, I will have this. All these things will happen. This is for me. So I started to say, I'm going to work on Madam C.J. Walker. So then when I got out of the house and I would see friends, they're like, I said, you know what? I want to work on Madam C.J. Walker. I will work on Madam C.J. Walker. And a friend of mine who's a filmmaker, incredible filmmaker named Shaz Bennett, heard me say that. And she knew Elle Johnson. And Elle Johnson was a showrunner of Madam C.J. Walker. And I had I do what I call a get up when I'm in Los Angeles. I just bring a bunch of people together so they can all talk, network, and chat, and drink.
Listen,
okay.
I'm in Los Angeles.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Look at Chris's face.
You on it.
You
on it. You on it for the next.
I will fly out.
You fly. Okay, girl. Fly in. We will wait for you.
$1,000 for
get up. But get up, honey. Sounds worth it.
I have an Uber pick you up. And so Elle came and we met. It's funny because she didn't stay for long. She probably stayed for like maybe 15, 20 minutes. She told me afterwards, I just came here to meet you. I just came to meet you because Shaz said you wanted to do it and I wanted to meet you. And then she was like, you should come in, to talk. And I was like, yeah. I went in, I met Janine Sherman Bauer. I met Nicole Ashley Jefferson, who's the writer, been working on this forever. And then Eric Obermeyer from Spring Hill Entertainment. We had a great meeting. And then after that, maybe like 3 days later, my agent said, okay, so we should talk about what happens if you don't get Madam C.J. Walker. And I went, oh, no.
I'm getting
Madam C.J. Walker. I'm getting it. And then they gave me the job. So, and I'm telling you, truly, when you set your intent and when you're clear, right? For me, it's about focusing. Okay. You can't be like, well, maybe I'll do that and maybe I want that and maybe I'll have some of this. No, you have to be like, this is what I want. And you have to spend time alone by yourself, saying what it is you want and knowing what it is you want and finding out if that's going to really resonate with you. Like be true to yourself of what you want. And then you just say it and you put yourself in the position where it comes to you. When Ava DuVernay slipped into my DMs on Twitter, okay, because that's how that happened. Let's talk about that for a hot minute.
Check your DMs, people. Magic is happening in DMs.
Listen.
Well, that's how this happened. You posted a tweet. I posted. This is a story about a black mom.
A black mom.
Like people forget that. A black single mom. And if you want to be on the podcast, this is how that happened. Yeah.
I love that. And so, when Ava reached out to me and she reached out to me initially to potentially write on Queen Sugar, which didn't come to fruition, but we stayed in touch. And then Paul Garnes, producer on Queen Sugar, and Selma and a million other things that she's done, called me up and said, Ava wants you to direct, an episode in the second season. When she called me, I literally said out loud, well, I'm going to be working on Queen Sugar, so I better go to the library and get that book and read it. And that's what I did. There is nothing negative to come of that because I got to read an incredible book.
I can see a similarity between you and Madam C.J. Walker is you created your own opportunity. You wanted to do this and you have a get together in LA where people just come together. I know oftentimes people don't look at those things as opportunities and kind of shun on those things. Yeah. Like that's a moment to be in in a space with like-minded people or, you know, creative people, and it birthed an opportunity.
I hear you saying is too, you know, we like to put things in t-shirt format on here. You'll appreciate
it. I love that.
If you align, it decreases the grind.
Oh,
right. We did that.
Yes.
Okay. And I've been telling people this because, like, Black people, we get hard. Listen.
Please.
Okay, please don't talk us about hard work. Okay.
Please don't.
We get it.
Please
we get it. What we don't know is how to live in the ease of attraction, in the ease of alignment. What we don't know is that we're so spiritually sound and powerful that they keep us so busy moving. We have to do so many things that when we stop and align and focus, literally things come into place in ways that we couldn't imagine. That produces more joy, right? That produces more excitement. I kind of remind people that it's hard work, but when it's something you love, it doesn't feel the same. The hard work in aligning, a lot of it's internal. The external part is stuff that you enjoy. You're working with people you like, you're doing things you like, you're creating things you like. Like, it's hard, it's long hours, but it's freaking fantastic.
Right. Where's the lie? That's real.
Is Madam C.J. Walker a musical? Like, from the previews, it looks like it has like musical elements or numbers. Is it a musical?
No, there are. So we really get to sit with her. Part of the thing that I love that Nicole and Ellen Janine created is that we get to go inside her and her thought process and how she feels in that moment. Endears you to her even more, which is what I love. So in the first 2 episodes, there are moments like that. And then the episodes I directed, 3 and 4, it sort of becomes a little bit of a different thing. So you get to find out like what makes her tick. What are the things that drove her? You just get to get as close to her as possible.
Love that.
So hair is a very political and personal thing for us. Listen, we almost didn't show each other's faces on here because hair ain't right. So
tell it.
For many of us, it's our first encounter with the beauty industry. So although she's celebrated for her wealth and business acumen, she had critics, most notably Booker T. Washington, then and now about the idea image of beauty she promoted, such as her improvement of and use of the hot comb. Do you all deal with some of that political stuff in the
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
Here's the real. So in St. Louis, at that time, more than half of the Black women in St. Louis were washerwomen. So they wash laundry, right? These are the only jobs that they could get. So that's hard manual labor that they're doing. They couldn't get these other jobs. Part of the reason why they couldn't get these other jobs is because they had scarves on, you know, their hair wasn't done because they didn't have indoor plumbing. So here comes Madam. Okay, she had her own issues with hair loss. She comes up with a formula that really works for her, that grows her hair. She tries to sell it. She says, I got indoor plumbing. Come to my house. I'll do your hair free, which is brilliant, right? So now it's for the betterment of these women. It wasn't just about, oh, I want to cute.
About
it's like,
being,
here's how you get, here's how you feel better
about yourself. Here's how you get a job.
Here's how you get a job to provide for yourself. Period. Right? And then beyond that, who some women who come in here for a long time, you want to sell for me? Great. Guess what? I'm going to set you up. Here's your franchise. Here's your franchise. So,
and I
now you don't even need the job you got your hair done for.
Right.
And I don't think that's talked about enough about her commitment to provide a way of financial stability for women.
Options.
That she was a millionaire and we just leave it there. But we don't say, okay, let's break down, you know, this woman's business.
I mean, that's so empowering just to have options, right? Like just to know, like I can make a choice. In and of itself, we talk about the sacral chakra a lot on this show because that's the center of like joy and pleasure. And it develops at age 6 months because it's when you sit up and for the first time in your little baby life, you have choices, right? Sit up, lay down, that's a choice, right? Look left, look right, that's a choice. That part starts to develop the joy and pleasure center. Even in her just giving these women options when they had like basically one was empowering and restoring and healing of their sacral chakra. That's incredible.
It gave them options. And look, the series is 4 episodes. You know, it could have been 10. Miss Alelia Bundles, who is Madam's great-great-granddaughter, who wrote On Her Own Ground, which is what this is based on. Wonderful, incredible woman historian, the Keeper of the Light. Love her. Love getting to meet her and spend time with her. There's so much in that book. There is so much detail. So the real is that she was taking in boarders in her home. She had, had property all over the place. Still washing, doing laundry. She stopped after a while, but she was still doing it because she hustled and selling her products.
What part of the movie do you all focus on? Do you all focus on that part, or is it not movie, but series? Is it a lifespan, or is it just that part?
It's from her start from when she's in St. Louis until she gets to New York, Irvington, until she buys the property. Specifically said, I want to be in Rockefeller's neighborhood. Specifically said, when you look across the water, I want you to see my mansion, and people go, who lives there? I want you to say, Madam C.J. Walker. She knew it. She was the ultimate marketer. She put her face on the product. So so it spans that whole time. One thing I wanted to mention, there came a time when she was making 50 cents a day. So that was a pretty big deal right back there.
Right. Yeah.
CJ, her husband, CJ was like, this is enough. We have enough money. Madam was like, no. Because I have plans, because these are all the things that I want to do. Yeah. So that's what I mean in terms of, someone real close to you can say, well, no more. You have to be like, okay, no, I'm focused.
No, my dream is bigger than this.
Listen, I set my intent before you got here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, get on the bus or get off the ride.
How do you feel like it impacted her motherhood and her relationship with her daughter?
Well, so Miss Bundles always says they were like fire and ice, Aaliyah and Madam. Yeah, I mean, they fought hard and they loved hard. I think, first of all, Madam learned to read like as an adult. She had I think it was 3 months of formal education. Wow. Okay, so here's another reason to be like all praise, right? So her parents were slaves, orphaned at 9, married at 14, widower, single mom by 19.
Wow.
Lived with her sisters and her sister's family. And then something happened there to this day she doesn't really speak about. I think we can all guess maybe what happened to make her leave, and then gets to St. Louis and starts doing laundry to figure out what it is that she's going to do. Look, my mom was a single mom. I had 2 older sisters and an older brother. So I know what it's like. When she comes home, she's tired, our dishes washed. You know what I mean? Our chores done.
Did you take out the meat in the refrigerator so that it's unthawed? By the time I get home, so that
you said
I
that it resonates with you there, Crystal.
Let me tell you why.
Tell me about it.
Because the first question, what we having for dinner?
Oh my God. That question is so triggering. That question is so, there's a law in this house not to ask me that question.
You should be ready to contribute in some way. Wash these dishes, do these things. And then beyond that, I was taught when I was young, my job was a student. My job was to get the good grades. So Madam was like, oh no, you got to know how to read, because I didn't know how to read. In fact, you're going to teach me how to read. I want you to go to this school. I want you to look like this. I want your hair to look like this, because of what I didn't have. And then it became, now that I am Madam, I need you to look and behave a certain way because you are my daughter. And that's every daughter relationship. You know what I mean? It don't matter how much money you have. Sometimes they want to live through you. And it's like, now you represent me, so I need you to do this. And it's like, whoa, what about how I want to live? Yeah. So, they had a very typical mother-daughter relationship in that was amped up with the fact that there was no money, and then there was money, and then there was always racism and men chauvinism. They ran the gambit.
Mothers do live with that tension. I always say that I'm not attached to my children's success or failure. I don't attach my worth or my value as a mother based on my children's success and failure. But it was a very hard lesson for me to come to, because when our kids are out and they act in a certain type of way or they look a certain type of way, it's like, where your mama at? Who raised you? You know what I mean? And it's very hard for us to see them as their own beings, especially when we haven't fully dealt with everything that we've been through. And I mean, this woman was the first person in her family to be born free.
Right.
Hello.
Already that. But even if you think about that and then her becoming a millionaire in 2 generations, look at the leap. That's incredible. You know what I'm saying? But it's also doesn't really allow for the processing of the trauma, because the leaps happen so fast and you have to adjust so fast that you don't get to process.
There you go.
What just happened to us. And that comes out through the relationships.
Yeah. Right. And then you have the expectations that other people have of Aaliyah because she's Madam's daughter. You know what I mean? So it's a very complicated and deep relationship for sure. Listen, if you get on her own ground, you're going to get 10 pages in and be like, oh my God, this could go 5 seasons. Because it's so much. The people that she knew, who she met, who she affected, the other people that she inspired, it's legendary. It's truly legendary.
I think that's the part I'm most excited about of everything I've heard and learned about the project. I'm excited to hear how little we knew about all the lives she impacted and how many generations were touched by her, to today. I can't wait.
And the fact that she, one of the other things that she did is that she truly helped other women. She shared with other women. She helped them provide for themselves. And, that's a message I think that is so important, especially right now. Like if I look at the three of you and I look at what you created, which I love, I look at the camaraderie, I look at the closeness. I can already tell when something's going on in one of your lives, you're going to call the other one. You're going to be there and provide that support system. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm a laugh with you. I'm going to cry with you. And that's what we need now to really realize, okay, you know what? There is no competition. We can all come up, let's share, and we can all come up together.
I mean, that's what you see Ava doing. Like, I mean, she's really the blueprint, like how she built Array, calling on the community to invest in our own work, right?
Truly.
And now, Array is here and she's hiring all female directors for all seasons of Queen Sugar. So that's really, I know people often say that that's something that we, should do, but I lived in Hollywood and people can hold stuff close to the vest.
I think part of it is the models of wealth we see, even if sometimes if they're Black, mirror whiteness or white methods of success, which are very competitive at times and very like cutthroat. And you say, well, that doesn't align with my values. So when I was looking at like models of wealth that felt good and aligned, Ava's was one of them, because service is at the core of it. Even when you talked about what drove you to do your first film, honestly, service and figuring out how to help people see something was at the core of it. I realized for Black folks and wealth, to get out of that mindset, we have to prioritize something that is so meaningful, that connects to community, and that involves like all of us being able to thrive. And I think those models of wealth for us align with our values and ultimately become more successful. And also in those spaces, it can get lonely. So like, you're going to want people who understand you and who could talk to you about it and who've been in the exact same situation. And you sometimes have to bring that crew with you and keep investing in new ones.
Yes, absolutely. And Ava has completely changed the game. She changed the numbers. She's changed my life. I'm a proud product of what I like to call the Ava effect. Now I know what I'm going to build when I have my shows, when I have my films. I know what the crew's going to look like. You know what I mean? I have to pay that forward in honor of her and in honor of everyone else who hasn't been given an opportunity. She gave me an opportunity. She taught me that I belong because she brought me in. And that's something that we can all do, and I would challenge people who work with the exact same people every single time, just reach slightly beyond that circle of people, because especially if you're creative, you want that other perspective,
that other lens.
That's right. Have someone else. Maybe your group constantly tells you yes. You want someone who might be like, I don't know, maybe try that. That's helpful. You can learn from anyone. Great ideas come from everywhere.
And I'm just gonna say, it makes a difference in the lighting. It makes a difference in the lighting.
Yes.
You can tell. You can tell.
Lights Black people the way.
Listen, you could tell because you could see. I'm like,
you can see. Like Thea said, nobody lights people the way that Ava does. Nobody does. And one of my favorite things about her new show, Cherish Today, is the credits. And when I look at the credits, I see people who used to be writers on Queen Sugar, now directors or directing producers. You know what I'm saying? I love that. I love that.
It's fantastic.
That model is one that we don't have to wait till we're super known or super famous or super wealthy to apply from the very beginning. You know what I mean? Like, you can start that right away.
That's right. It costs you nothing to say, I will have this. Yes. You know what I mean? Yes. It takes a while to get out of that mindset because of what your family may have told you, your friends may have told you, because what society might tell you. But if you stay with it, let me tell you something. Part of what I firmly believe, the reason why I am where I am, aside from, my mama and Ava DuVernay and, the strong women in my life who have encouraged me and helped me and support me, is because about 3.5 years ago, in addition to saying what I want, I started to write down what I wanted, right? And I wrote this down. I wrote down, I want to have so many incredible opportunities that it is difficult for me to choose what I want to do next.
Wow.
And let me tell you, I wrote it, I would say it, and I didn't even say a lot, but that is here. Like, that is real. It's happening, and I could feel it. And I'm telling you, it can happen for every one of us. It is
Absolutely.
It's not being
No.
Pollyanna.
No.
It's not being, and it feels good to be like, yeah, I want this. Yeah, I'm going to have this. That's joy to do dream building and be like, okay, when I have my house and the island's going to be there and this is going to be there. These are all the things that I'm going to have. Not that I want, I will have them.
Obviously, today you do this and you have seen the fruit of it. You know that it works. If I say I will have something, it will come to me, right? But in the beginning, did you believe that? Did you kind of know deep down? Or does this work if you don't yet believe? Can you kind of fake it till you make it?
Listen, listen.
Can you fake it till you make it?
You can fake it till you make it, but let me tell you something. I was a pessimist for decades because, you know, look, came from a single mom, grew up on welfare. So, you know, I'm like, all right, I'm going to dream, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to dream that what's the lowest thing that can happen. I'm going to think a negative thing might happen. Because if I think that negative thing will happen, then I'll be prepared for it.
Right.
And I won't be so let down if it doesn't happen. But that's the worst.
Yes. Yes.
That doesn't feel good.
Yes.
It doesn't draw anything good to you.
That's a hard thing, though. It's a hard
very
thing
hard.
to shift that mindset because it's scary.
Yeah. You have to train your brain.
Yes, you do.
You have to train your brain,
Yes,
and you have to, you know, sometimes I'll think a negative thing because sometimes it feels good to think a negative thing, right? And then if you think a negative
feels
thing,
protective.
and you're like, right? And then when it doesn't work out, you're like, see, I knew it.
See, I knew it, which is a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know what I've told myself? I said, you spent a long time trying it this way. Why not assume up? Why not?
There you go.
Try up. And so I've been testing myself to like, okay, you've said to yourself, this is not going to work out. This could not work out. Don't get your hopes up. But why this time try getting your hopes up? You're not going to die if it doesn't work out. And at least you know it wasn't your negativity that caused it not to work out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you look at all of the things that the three of you incredible women who are mothers are doing on a regular basis, being mothers, being creative, being in the workplace, having this business, holding it down, taking care of people, taking care of each other. You could do anything.
Anything.
You can absolutely do anything. And it will cost you nothing to say, this is where we will be. In the next 2 years, we will be over here. You know?
The good thing about doing podcasts, and Crystal's great at this, is like we've archived our progress.
Yeah.
Like Crystal will remind me that you said that on a podcast, Thea. And I was like, did I? Like, I don't remember saying that. And then she's like, and look what's happening.
Yeah.
That's been really cool because I don't think we would have given ourselves that credit if we hadn't had it documented that way.
And we started in a totally different place than where we are now. I mean, we were prompted to do this podcast because of the 2016 election. That was what our first yeah, that's what our first episode was about. And we had been thinking about it for like a year and a half. And then, you know, we were like, we're going to do it. And then when that happened, we was like, we got to do a podcast.
We got something to say.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And now we've totally evolved into focusing on creativity, healing, and liberation. And so it's the best of times and the worst of times in that way, you know? Yeah.
There was one question y'all sent me that I wanted to address that I love so much, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Do you know it was... Yeah, it was about making ends meet as an artist.
Okay, enough people don't talk about that life. Enough people don't talk about how do you make ends meet? What do you do when you're not having back-to-back work? I mean, I know you're creating within that time, but how you paying rent?
And the mother and having children
and having kids. So please speak on that. Absolutely.
What I think is the most important thing is to figure out what your nut is each month. What is the amount of money I need each month, right? Rent, groceries, utilities, all this other stuff. And then pare down if you have to pare down. If you know a lean month is coming, then you ain't shopping at Whole Foods then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't say get the ramen because ramen is way too high in sodium. You got to cut back on the ramen. But straight up, if you get some dried beans, them dried beans cost less money than the canned beans, right? And you get more, you can stack more, right? You soak them. Like, what else am I going to do with these beans? What do you have to do to make your nuts? So that's what I would figure out. And then beyond that, you know, me being a freelancer, voiceover, also directing commercials, you know, there were times when it's like, okay, I would just bounce to the next thing.
Yeah.
You got to have a lot of different things that you do that interest you, that make money in that way.
Yeah.
And then those people who you work for, you got to stay in touch. You know, send them an email, go to an event where they are, say what's up, talk to them, you know, show an interest in what they're doing. And then just knowing that, okay, the next job is going to come. What do you want that next job to be? Spend some time saying, I will work on this.
Be ready.
I be ready for it. You know what I mean? And think positively around it. That's really the thing that I kind of did the most of. And then I would say, when you get to the other side, you got to share. You got to share your resources. ABCD in Boston is an organization that I really appreciate what they do. You know, Boston Healthcare for the Homeless is another organization that I'm into. Casa Marina Vasquez, which is a home for a shelter for battered women and their children. You know, I think it's really important. I do it because I know that I'm here to serve.
Right.
I'm here to serve my friends, my family. When I'm on that set,
Yeah.
I'm here to serve everyone, the showrunners, the producers, the writers. You know, seeing someone in need from me, I feel it. Like it hurts. So I'm also trying to, I have plans to create, I have plans to create different things to ease that. And again, it don't cost me nothing to think about what those things are going to be. It feels good to think about it and to plot and to plan it.
How long did you work in advertising before you were just like, I'm going to do this my whole time?
I always worked in advertising. It didn't really stop for me until it was 2017 with Queen Sugar.
Wow.
So my first episode, and then Ava graciously had me back to do another episode. And then she had me be producing director of season 3. So I think there may have been a little bit of freelance copywriting in between those two first episodes. But again, like, you know, if you have something that you really love to do, if it brings you joy, it doesn't matter that like, it's other people will say, well, you're just supposed to be a copywriter, or you're just supposed to be a director. You do all the things. And it's like, I'm not even going to call you out for what you was doing last week. I'm just going to tell you.
Right.
Okay. I can make cheddar doing all these things. What, am I going to stop making cheddar? No.
Right.
I'm going to make it. I'm a hustle. Yeah. I'm a hustle like my mom did. I'm a hustle like Madam did.
Courtney Adelaya, I think it is, who does the DeMane line of hair care products. I remember somebody asked her, you know, at what point can you quit your job? And she said, why would you do that? She was like, that allows you the freedom to enjoy what you're creating. Like, she's like, as soon as you let that go, they know. I used to wish my job's away. Like, I just want to be like, and then when I heard her say that, I realized like my jobs make it possible for me to create things from a place not of like necessarily need, but of like full joy and desire. Because like you were saying, the positive mindset is hard to maintain when you're looking at the ramen versus the dry beans, right? And you put out them dry beans the night before to soak. I really don't know what you're going to do that night.
Well, Instapot. Ask for Instapot for Christmas,
You better ask somebody to donate an Instapot.
Yeah.
Because that'll change your life. Oprah said something the other day. I was at that event. She said, stress is wanting the moment to be something other than what it is. And when she said that, every moment since then, I've been like, all this is me wanting this moment to be something other than what it is. And once I acknowledge this is what it is. Today, I didn't take out the dry beans, and I'm about to eat cereal. I'm gonna put these beans in a pot, and then tomorrow I'll eat the beans. Like, it is what it is. In American culture, it becomes a whole mandate about who you are.
You are, right.
Self-esteem thing. It's just like, shit is tough. The check didn't get here. Okay, let me follow up. Let me send a follow-up email about a check, and then eat this cereal and put these dry beans in some water.
Yes.
What I also learned from that is that Ava is paying folks. Like, you did one episode of Queen Sugar. You was able to, you know, I mean, I think that's all right. You know what I'm saying? That speaks volume for me. Let me get these deadlines hit.
Get on these deadlines.
The thing that you said about worrying, the sentence that I like, and it comes from Abraham Hicks, is worrying is planning for something you do not want.
Yeah.
And when I think of it like that, I let it go.
Yeah.
If there's a worry, if you want to worry, I'll tell you what works for me. If you want to worry, you want to think negative, then give it a time limit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And say, okay,
you know what's funny?
I have 30 seconds.
Yeah, to do this.
I'm going to think, and now then it's
and let it go. You know, on This Is Us, whenever Randall and his wife are talking, they'll do a worst case scenario, right? So for like a minute, they can be like, okay, worst case scenario, she runs away and never comes back. Worst case scenario, you're like, and it just gets it out. It gets the energy out. Yeah.
To close out, we want to ask, what are you watching
right now.
And also, what's coming up next for you that you could talk about? Because I know, like folks who like
you
really
probably got like some secret stuff, some like good
stuff
stuff
that you can't
hear
talk about.
Like,
That we can't.
I know. It's just NDAs everywhere, but it's all good. It's all good. It's NDAs. People hand out NDAs like Skittles.
Y'all trying to
making it rain NDAs. Making it rain NDAs.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. So what I'm watching right now is I'm watching The Outsider on HBO.
Watched that.
I'm addicted to it. I have to watch it during the day because I'm scary.
Yeah.
And I live alone.
Outsider is good. It's like reminds me of Fallen.
That is. And now everyone I see with a hoodie, I'm like, ooh, that hoodie's too big.
Right.
That hoodie's way too big. That's it.
That hoodie's way too sweet.
You know? Listen, so I have to see how that turns out. I will tell you what I loved that I saw, and what I will be rewatching is Watchmen.
I knew you were going to say it.
Amazing.
I knew you were going to say it.
That was amazing.
Can we talk about it?
Come on.
Come on.
Yes.
Let me tell you.
Can we talk about it?
Incredible.
I'm so disappointed there's not a second season.
No,
I get
it's okay though.
I get
it. It's there for us to go back to. And the thing for us to be excited about, right? So what Damon Lindelof did is they kept coming to him and saying, do you want to do this? And so he was like, this is for me. This is so important. Do I want to do it? And then someone slipped him Ta-Nehisi Coates' The Case for Reparation.
Best thing he ever wrote. I read that once a year.
Come on. So he read that and he read some more of Coates and he incorporated that.
Yes.
This is
He started off with the Tulsa riots.
It did.
Please.
I was like, we're going there.
We're starting there. Out the gate.
Shocked.
Yeah.
Children in a box. Are you kidding me? So I would say, first of all, please don't anyone think that we cannot have another Tulsa riots movie or television show because it's been done, because someone did it once. I get that way too as a creative person. I'm like, someone did that. I never use the color orange again. No. Whatever you want, you have your own perspective, your own take on things.
Your own way of
We're going to bring something different to the table. That's right. So for me, what it did is I was like, okay, I could take something that I'm going to make and I can add a totally different concept. Right? That's current and that resonates with people, that will bring it to a completely different place. So I'm kind of excited that there's just one, so I could go back and now rewatch. Yeah, when I do a film, I pick 2 or 3 books based on that subject that I will read cover to cover and make notes in so I can go back, right? So for Lift, it was My Mother, Myself by Nancy Friday, which is a great book. And because, this character has all these customers, she's looking for self-love, right? She has all these customers, but her mother is her toughest customer, and that she just wants her mother's love, right? So I read this book and I was like, okay, this is Niecy and Elaine. This is Niecy and her mother. Okay, this is Elaine and her sister, Lily. Okay, I got to like page 10. I was like, this is me. They're my sister. Oh my God, my brother said. And so it's like, so real. It's what I was saying before, right? There's never anything negative to take. Like, let me read that extra thing. Let me go, because it's going to bring you somewhere, right? So for me now, what Damon did with Watchmen is I'm gonna push even harder. I'm gonna be like, what else can I bring here in addition to the Ava effect? Saying, where's my Black female rep? Let's go her. You know what I mean? In addition to that, but I loved it.
I love that
oh my God,
that you have books attached to, like you have a reading list attached to your work. You know what I mean? Like I love that.
So those 2 are good. My guilty pleasure is Married at First Sight.
Exactly.
Same.
Listen.
Same.
I just have it on in the background sometimes, but I'm always like, what do y'all do?
I feel that.
Why you mad?
I feel that.
The camera's here. What you
I feel
talking about?
I like shows like that because that reminds me that this therapy license will never go to waste.
Oh no,
never. If nothing else, I will always have that job. If nothing else.
So what's next for you?
So I just wrapped an episode, the second to last episode.
I love that. I just wrapped. I can't wait to say that. I just wrapped. I'm going to say that about this episode. We just wrapped.
We just wrapped.
But I'm going to start saying.
I get the
gift.
It's a gift, right? Of Station 19. So that'll be on, I think, in April. I'm not sure. I directed the as you mentioned, the second to last episode of How to Get Away with Murder. So that will be on in April of the end of the series, which I was honored for them to have me back. My God. And right now I'm working on a Netflix series. I'm doing 2 episodes, and I'm not allowed to say any more than that. But that's
flipping them
that's what I'm working
NDAs,
on.
making it rain, NDAs, making it rain, NDAs.
I can't wait to be like, I got a lot of stuff coming up.
Ooh, y'all, we done changed somebody's life. Someone got saved.
I hope so.
Someone got set free.
Might have been me.
I love where it's all headed.
Yeah.
All black everything.
Yes, really
all
it
black
is.
Everything. It's happening.
It's really
possible.
happening. It's such an exciting time. And I think when we started this podcast in 2016, right after the election, I think Black women have been the freest they've ever been since then. It was almost like showing your ass the way y'all did in that election. Literally freed us from like, okay. So what we not gonna do is waste our time.
That's right.
Anymore with this. We could be doing the most beautiful, brilliant, amazing things in the world. And that's what we're going to do from now on. So great.
That's what we're going to do. I love
That's what
it.
we're doing.
That's what we do. We are doing it.
Thank you so much. And okay, so are all the episodes released at once, or is it going to be, all of them released at once? Okay, great.
All the episodes at once.
You can binge it, y'all.
Yeah, we can binge
March 20th. Yeah, it's happening.
Your calendar.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Like, exciting.
I can't wait to watch it and talk about it and, see what people think about it. It's really exciting and it looks really, really good. It looks really good.
Thank you. One of the things I want to mention is that we had a lot of women in the crew working on it. Lena Cordina, who is our line producer, was instrumental in getting us a bunch of incredible craftspeople and artisans to come on board. And, Antoinette Meesum, our costumes designer, was incredible. Britt Doty, our production designer. Kira Kelly, our director of photography, who's the director of photography on Queen Sugar.
It's going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because you can watch Queen Sugar with the volume turned down.
Oh, yeah.
So beautiful.
And it's beautiful.
And it's gorgeous. I mean, it's
shout out to her.
It's like watching a film.
It is. Shout out to her, yeah.
One of the things that all the different heads of departments of the crew mentioned to me is they said, when I found out that there was going to be this series of Madam C.J. Walker, I had to work on it. I wanted to be a part of it. I had to do it. I wanted to honor her. I knew her story. And I wanted to help tell it. Now, you're talking about, we filmed this up in Canada. There's so much production work there. It's outrageous, right? This was 4 episodes. All the other shows up there, 8 episodes, 10, 12, 20, 22. These people turned down more money to work with us on 4 episodes because they felt it was this important. And they had that passion. You talk about joy, they already had that joy.
Yeah.
And then they came to set every day ready to deliver.
I love that.
They would literally, I would stand back and I would like, look at this. And I would grab them and I said, thank you for honoring Madam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love it.
That's what they did. It was absolutely unbelievable.
You'll be able to feel that in the work.
I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
It's so great to meet you, ladies. And I truly want to thank you for what you've created. It's an incredible outlet. It's a great testament to who you are, to your hard work, and to hear your voices, to have Black women talking to each other about important things that we need to talk to, that we don't always talk to or talk about, is so important. So I just want to thank you for what you're doing, and what you're sharing, what you're creating.
Much.
Truly.
Thank you. We can't wait. So let's go on to Black Mama Say. Here we go. Nikki, you ready?
Yes. All right. This is a part of our episode where we do Black Mama Say, which is where we put our own spin on typical things that Black mamas say. However, today we have a little bit of a different one since it's election season. Y'all, what would Black mamas say to the Democratic Party today?
Okay, so this is a PSA. This is a PSA. So what a Black mama is saying to the Democratic Party is 2 things. I tried to tell you, but you ain't want to believe fat meat was greasy. Okay? AKA Black voters matters. Pull your shit all the way together. And don't just parade these Black surrogates out here. Talk to Black people. That is including older Black folks
who will stand in line for 7 hours.
Who will stand in line for 7 hours for that vote. They will do it. They will show up. You don't have to agree with them, but what you have to do is understand where Black people are in this country, and you have to go meet Black voters where they are. Hey, I got issues with the Black church too. I do. But if that's where Black older voters are, that's where you need to go. And I'm not saying Black preachers should give people running for political office time on Sunday morning. No, you can come here on a Thursday night, not on a Wednesday, because that's sacred too. You can come to this church on a Thursday or a Monday night and talk to these Black people. Go to schools, the same schools that you claim you want to save in historically Black neighborhoods that are being gentrified. Go to those schools and talk to Black people. You can write us off if you want to, but if you haven't learned anything up until this point, what you need to know, what you now know is that you need to talk to us, and not in segments. I don't want to hear, well, I'm winning Black people over 50. Well, I'm winning Black people under 50. No, you need to win all Black people.
Because we really do. We're not monolithic as a people, but we vote pretty consistently as a block. Reality is, it ain't enough to get 2 or 3 little ones off in the corner. The whole block ain't moving.
And it's not enough for you to parade out Black surrogates. It was extremely frustrating. It was extremely hurtful. It also dismissed the resistance in the South.
The political strategies that you all have developed over time. Right. Absolutely.
I get that.
But that cost something.
Yeah, it did cost something. And let me tell you something. What kills me is it was like, oh, they're low information voters and, they're really conservative. But we voted for Barack. We voted for Jesse.
But he was down there and turned over every nook and cranny.
Right. So instead of criticizing Black voters, do your work. Instead of asking Elizabeth Warren which person is she going to endorse, fight for the votes that she earned.
Right. You didn't care about what that woman had to say, but all of a sudden you want her to say, that don't work. Which brings me to my Black Mama say, which we're gonna do in song today.
Okay.
Can we hear me?
I hear you.
This is my Black Mama say.
Real ass bitch, give a fuck about a nigga. Big Birkin bag, hold 5, 6 figures.
Hey.
Rockin' on my ass, but we call this pussy tigger. Bustin' on the scamming ass, rich ass nigga.
I don't know.
We gotta get to the hook, Crystal. We gotta get to the hook, because this is what we all about.
Hey.
Act up, you can get. Hey.
Okay.
Why should I recreate the wheel when City Girl said everything needs to be said? Act up, you could get smashed up. I would like to start from here.
Okay.
I ain't got time for you fake ass hoes talking all loud in them fake ass clothes, fake ass shoes match they fake ass go. I'm the realest bitch ever to use fake ass hoes. Now that would be from the perspective of the Black woman. Okay? Act up, you can get snatched up. Act up, you can get snatched up. Act up, you can get snatched up. That makes it real.
That makes it real. Yeah.
I feel like this is profound. Prolific.
This is profound.
Profound.
Wow.
I just wanted to make it clear, okay, that the days of being proper about this shit are done. I don't know why you didn't get the memo. Perhaps you should check in with your assistants, because it doesn't matter how much we do. You're going to think what you want to think.
And let me tell you something. Nobody is excited about voting for Joe Biden.
No.
My grandmother lives in a neighborhood where there are always signs in the yard. Nobody had a Biden sign in their yard. But the other part of that is when the Music Man has come singing us promises of a new day, what happened is in history, you can look back in history. What happened is either number one, white people didn't show up. We can look at the 2016 election for that. Or number two, you abandoned Black people to get your agenda crossed. We can look at the suffrage movement for that. Or we can even look at the labor movement for that. Okay?
That's a deep political version. What I said is that bitches quit.
Yeah.
We quit 4 years ago. And when I say we quit across the board, you can't even ask me how I get my hair like that. You can't ask me no simple shit. You can't ask me how to get across the street. I ain't got nothing for you. I don't know. Find a map, Google shit. I don't know. We quit. It's like, why would I continue to put pearls before swine? No. See, this is my thing. King told them that. King said, we may make up 12% of the population, but where we are situated matters politically. So my thing is, King's been dead how long?
Yeah. No, real talk.
And he wrote it down.
Yeah.
So why are you, Bernie, still trying to figure that out when it's already written out for you? I can't. I'm not going to double do the work. Act up. You can get snatched up. Good luck and good night.
But this isn't just about Bernie for me. This is also about like Joe Biden thinking that, oh, if I just hitch my wagon to Obama, then, you know, that's going to carry me through. And it's like, no, you're basically using the labor of a Black person to boost you. So both of them have a tremendous amount of work to do. You would think after 2016, and y'all had 4 years to pull this shit all the way together.
But no.
That you would have pulled your shit all the way together. Because we could be looking at a 7-2 conservative Supreme Court. Like, we know what's on the line. So, Nikisha, do you have...
So here's the thing. I think that one of the reasons why Republicans are really, really good at winning elections in this country is because they have consistent talking points. If you hear one raggedy conservative on this channel, one on another channel, they are always using the same speaking points, same drivel, same dog whistle, but the same words no matter what. So they're consistent across. Democrats, I think, we think we're too smart, right? And we start going off the script, making up our own talking points, or pushing our own separate agendas, which are all kind of liberal, kind of progressive, kind of democratic, but not necessarily consistent. So I was going to say, you know, what your mama say when she caught you in a lie. And, you know, you and your siblings are trying to, you're looking at each other like, don't say that, you say this, and y'all can't get together. She's like, get your lie straight. Get your lie straight.
That's so good, Nikisha. That is so good.
That's what I'm trying to say to the Democratic Party.
Because we know nobody is being completely honest.
Nobody.
So get your lie straight.
Get your lie straight. Get on the same story.
All
you know what I mean?
ask is that you lie to us consistently.
That's it.
You know what? That's about respect.
Everybody tell the same lie.
Enough to get your lie together.
That's it.
This is how low I'm saying it is. This is how low it is. This is how low the respect level is. Act up, you can get snatched.
Oh my God.
Full circle.
Get your lie straight. I love it.
We can't win if y'all telling different stories. If y'all saying, Mama, we went to class. Somebody over here saying, Mama, we didn't go to class. Somebody over here saying, I was sick. They were with me.
Get the lie straight. Make it consistent.
That's it.
Okay? Make it consistent. I appreciate that, Nikisha.
You know what an example of that is in pop culture? Did y'all watch Big Little Liars?
Oh, no, I didn't.
All them white women was on.
They were on the same. They were on the same.
The lie was Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah. Damn it. That's true.
Yes.
I think diversity makes us bad at lying sometimes. I think it's just like it's genetically hard for us.
God damn it, Thea. That is
it's genetically hard for us.
Yeah.
We start to like quibble, and we have like ancestor values.
We can't keep the lie straight.
But you know why else we can't keep the lie straight? Because we feel like, but if they find out we lying, this shit is gonna fall on me. It's gonna fall on the Black person.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
My mom used to say, "What is the lie? Can somebody tell me what the lie is?"
Now that makes you stop. That makes you back up and think, what
is the lie?
It's like that question is messing me up right now. I'm like, what is the lie?
Y'all got a lot of work to do.
Act up, you can get.
Good luck.
Act up, you can get snatched up. We're not looking forward to I'm not looking forward to the next.
Oh my God.
All right. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Dem Black Mamas.
You can email us at demblackmamas@gmail.com with questions, suggestions, or show comments.
And please support some of the people who support us. If you are a woman of color interested in starting your own podcast, you can follow WOC Podcasters, Women of Color Podcasters, on all social media platforms. And they also have a Facebook group that is full of information and support. If you're a Black mom who's looking for connection and inspiration, follow Black Moms Connection. They also have a Facebook group. And please support two of our sister podcasts, All Heart and also Intercultured, that just kicked off, hosted by Anya Dula. So we'll have the links for that in our show notes as well. So those are the people who you can support that support us. And we hope that you are rooted in
joy,
liberation,
and abundance. All right. Namaste.
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 That's all we got. So we ain't got